AITA if I go NC with parents who treat me only as a vessel that birthed the boy they wanted and who weren't fun to grow up with? I, 29F, have always had a poor relationship with my parents. Growing up, they were mentally and emotionally rough on us. Broken promises both big and small, borrowing money to never be returned starting as early 10 years old, and yelling at us and each other were some of the highlights. At 16, they had been arguing for a week straight. I had to be out the door at 5 a.m. one day during this to go out of town for a school activity. And at 5 a.m., they were going at it and screaming at each other. I had had enough and said, "Why don't you two just get a freaking divorce already?" before I stormed out the door. When I got home, they never talked to me about it, so I didn't say more. In college, I had issues with the financial aid office one year and my parents helped me get a small loan at our bank to pay school, which I would have paid back within 2 weeks after the office processed my FAFSA and paid me back the difference. Loan was paid back by me and this difference ended up being $3,000 for me to pocket or give back to the loan provider and not pay interest on later. My parents asked for half of it. They said they'd pay me back and I gave it to them, believing maybe they would this time, but never saw a dime of it. Fast forward to me marrying my husband, my parents were overjoyed for the son they never had, as they had all daughters. My sisters are both gay and will not have children. So when I had my child, a son, a few years ago, they finally got their boy that's blood. When they introduce me and my little family at gatherings for my side of the family and not my husband's side, it's always "This is our son-in-law, Adam, our grandson, Cain, and this is Cain's mom, Eve." Not "This is our daughter, Eve, and her family, Adam and Cain." All I am to them is someone who slept with a man and grew a penis in my uterus for 9 months. They are 90% of the reason that I had postpartum depression/anxiety with how dismissive of me they were, fixating "oh baby" and my husband and not even bothering with me. Rather than play peekaboo, they just want to take pictures and pretend that they're the best grandparents on the planet on social media. I do have to add that I am not without fault in this, as I have never done anything to nurture a relationship nor have I had a direct conversation with them about how I have felt about their behavior and treatment over the years. Because how do you say you made my childhood so miserable that I tried to remove myself from the equation permanently to get away from you? Not an easy way to start a conversation, with or without therapy. We nearly had a breakthrough last year that would have allowed the door to open for me to say something. We were talking about a family member cutting contact with everyone in the family and my parents say, "I know we didn't give you guys the best childhood." Well, but yeah. They had me in the first half and I thought things were going to be acknowledged. That they maybe knew they messed up Aaron and we could slowly work towards something. But they didn't take the accountability. They just completely dropped the ball. How can I put effort into people who won't put the effort in themselves or into me? We haven't seen them for a few months and it's kind of been the best, both for my health and my marriage. With the holidays right around the corner, we've been contemplating just keeping that going and doing extremely low contact or completely cutting the cord and going no contact. My husband always defends me and supports me with them. He wanted to hold on to give them a chance for our child to have a relationship with them, but he's even at the end of his rope. I understand that we're keeping our child from a set of grandparents and are prepared for his questions later, but what is he really missing from people who treat him like a trophy? Having never told them any of this, AITA if I go NC with them because they've never changed and don't seem to think they've ever done anything wrong?